Now, for the test corrections, there is not enough room for me to solve each problem on the test itself, and so I will be solving the problems here on this whiteboard, and I will give you the answers when we finish. So, for problem number 1, it says, how many solutions does the equation 5x plus 17 equals 4 times 3x minus 1 half? So we're going to start off by distributing to both parts of the parentheses. Distribute means multiply. So when we multiply, 4 times 3 is 12, so it's 12x. 12 times negative 1 is negative 4. I can keep solving the equation by combining my like terms. I'm going to combine the 5x and the 12x. 5x and 12x are on opposite sides of the equal sign, so we do the opposite operation. I do a minus 12x. 5 minus 12 is going to give me negative 7x. And then I bring everything else down. I bring down the positive 17, I bring down the negative 4. Again, I'm going to keep combining like terms. I'm going to combine the 17 and the negative 4. Again, they are on opposite sides, so we do the opposite operation. I do a minus 17. I bring down the negative 7x. Negative 4 and minus 17 is a negative 21. My last step, and it's always my last step when you are only left with two numbers, your last step is to divide. In this case, we're dividing by negative 7. And we would get x equals 3. The equation x equals 3 is a one solution problem, so the answer is B, one solution. Number 2, how many solutions does the equation 7x minus 11 equal 5x minus 2 plus 2x minus 1 half? So again, our first step is to distribute. We multiply the parentheses. 5 times 1 is 5, so 5x. 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. I'm going to go ahead and combine my like terms, 5x and 2x. They are on the same side of the equal sign, so we do the same signs. 5x plus 2x. 5 plus 2 is 7, 7x. I bring down the minus 10, I bring down the minus 1. Again, still combining like terms, I'm going to combine the negative 10 and the negative 1. They are on the same side, so everything stays the same. I bring down the 7x. Negative 10 minus 1 is negative 11. 7x minus 11 equals 7x minus 11. Those match. They have the same thing on both sides. And so that is an infinite solution. So the answer is letter A, infinitely many solutions. Number 3. Which of the following equations has exactly one solution? So for this problem, you had to solve each answer choice, A, B, C, and D. So letter A is 7x plus 2 equals negative 3x minus 3 minus 4x minus 7. So our first step is to distribute. We multiply the parentheses and bring everything else down. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3x. Negative 3 and negative 3 make a positive 9. We continue to combine like terms. I combine the negative 3x and the negative 4x because they are on the same side. Negative 7x plus 2 you bring down. Negative 3 and negative 4 make a negative 7x. Still combining like terms. I combine the 9 and the 7. They are on the same side, so everything stays the same. 9 minus 7 is 2. Negative 7x plus 2 equals negative 7x plus 2. Those match. They have the same thing on both sides, and so that is an infinite solution. A is wrong. Letter B, we have 14x equals 7, 2x plus 2. Again, our first step is to distribute. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 2 is 14. I can combine like terms. 14x and 14x are on opposite sides, so I do the opposite operation. I do a minus 14x. 14 minus 14 gives me 0. I get 0 equals 14 because I bring it down. That is not true. That is a no solution problem, and so B is incorrect. Letter C, 5x plus 3 equals negative 2x plus 3. Again, first step is we distribute. We multiply the parentheses. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4x. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. We combine our like terms. 5x and negative 4x are on opposite sides. I do the opposite. I do a plus 4x. 5 plus 4 is 9x. I bring down the plus 3, and I bring down the minus 6. Still combining like terms, we do a minus 3, because 3 and 6 are on opposite sides, so we do the opposite. We do a minus 3. I bring down the 9x. Negative 6 minus 3 is negative 9. Our last step, when we have two numbers left, is to divide, in this case dividing by 9. And we get x equals negative 1. X equals negative 1 is a one solution problem. That is what we were looking for in number 3, and so the answer is C. Number 4, what is a possible result of simplifying the equation 15x minus 4 equals 3, 5x minus 4? First step is to distribute. We get 15x minus 4 brought down. 3 times 5 is 15x. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. I'm going to combine my like terms, so I'm going to subtract 15x because the 15x's are on opposite sides, so we do the opposite operation. I bring down the negative 4 and I bring down the negative 12 because 15 minus 15 is 0. We don't write zeros. My answer is negative 4 equals negative 12, which is letter C in number 4. Number 5, which of the following equations has no solution? Since we are looking for which equation, we have to solve all of them. So, letter A, negative 6x plus 1 equals negative 3, 2x plus 1 plus x. Our first step is to distribute. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3 plus x. We combine our like terms, negative 6x and a 1x. Negative 6 plus 1 is negative 5. Still combining like terms, I do the opposite operation. I do a plus 5x because they are on opposite sides. Negative 6 plus 5 is negative 1. Still combining like terms, again doing the opposite operation because they're on opposite sides. I do a negative 1. Negative 3 minus 1 is negative 4. Always last step with two numbers is to divide, in this case divide by negative 1, and I get x equals 4. That is a one solution problem, and so A is incorrect. Letter B, negative 5 plus 14x equals 7, 2x minus 5. So again, first step is to distribute. 7 times 2 is 14, 14x minus 5. Now, even though they are written backwards, these equations have an infinite solution because everything matches. I have a negative 5 and a negative 5, and I have a positive 14x and a positive 14x. All my numbers are the same, even though they're written in different orders. That is an infinite solution, and so letter B is incorrect. Letter C, 4x minus 4 equals negative 4 times negative x plus 1. First step is to distribute. Negative 4 times negative 1, I know that that's a 1 in front of the x, gives me a positive 4x. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. 4x minus 4 equals 4x minus 4. They match. They are the same on both sides. So that is an infinite solution. Letter C is wrong. Meaning, letter D, negative 9x plus 2 equals negative 3x plus 2 has to be the correct answer, but I'm still going to prove it to you. You start by distributing. Negative 3 times 3 is negative 9x. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. We combine our like terms by doing the opposite. We add 9. Negative 9 plus 9 is 0. We don't need to write zeros. I can just bring down the 2 and the negative 6. 2 does not equal negative 6, and so it is no solution. Letter D is the correct answer. Number 6, which of the following equations have no solution? So again, we have to solve all of them. It also says select all the correct answers, so that tells me there's going to be more than one. So letter A is 7x minus 9 equals 47. I start by combining my like terms. I add 9 to both sides. 47 plus 9 is 56. Last step is to divide by 7. And I get x equals 8. That is a one solution problem, and so letter A is wrong. Letter B, 6x minus 9 equals 3, 2x minus 3. First step is to distribute. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. 6x minus 9 equals 6x minus 9. They match. They're the same on both sides, and so that is an infinite solution. Letter B is incorrect. Letter C, negative 2x plus 10 equals 2 negative x plus 5 plus 1. Start by distributing and bring everything else down. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2x. 2 times 5 is 10, and plus 1. I combine my like terms, 10 and 1. 10 plus 1 is 11. I continue combining like terms. I do the opposite of a minus 2. I do a plus 2 because they're on opposite sides. Negative 2 plus 2 is 0. So I don't need to write zeros. I can just bring down the rest of the problem. 10 equals 11. 10 does not equal 11. That is not true, so that is a no solution. Letter C is a correct answer. But the problem did tell us to select all the correct answers, meaning there's more than one, so we have to keep solving. Letter D, negative x plus 20 equals x minus 4. We combine our like terms by doing the opposite. I do a minus x. Negative x minus x is a negative 2x. I bring down the 20 and the minus 4. Still combining like terms, I do a minus 20. Bring down the negative 2x. Negative 4 minus 20 is negative 24. And the last step is to divide, in this case dividing by negative 2. Negative 24 divided by negative 2 is a positive 12. X equals 12. That is a one solution problem, and so D is not a correct answer. Letter E, negative 5x minus 5 equals negative 5x minus 1. Again, we distribute first. Negative 5 times 1 is negative 5x. Negative 5 times 1 is a positive 5. I combine my like terms by doing the opposite. I add 5x to both sides. Negative 5 plus 5 is 0. I don't need to write 0, so we can bring it down. Negative 5 equals 5. Negative 5 and positive 5 are not the same thing, and so letter E is a correct answer. Number 7, suppose a linear equation in one variable x is simplified. Which of the following resulting equations would indicate that an original equation has infinitely many solutions? To have infinite solutions, we need to pick the answers that match on both sides. So letter A is negative 4 equals negative 4. They are the same, they match, and so A is a correct answer. Letter B, you have 11 equals x. Whenever you have x equals a number, that is a one solution problem, and so B is not correct. Letter C, 0 equals 0. They are the same on both sides, they match, and so C is a correct answer. Letter D, x equals 0. Again, when you have x equals a number, that is a one solution problem, not infinite, so that is incorrect. Letter E, 1 equals negative 1. Even though the numbers are the same, the signs are not. They do not match completely. 1 and negative 1 are not the same, and so E is not a correct answer. And the last one, x equals x. They are the same. They match on both sides, and so F is a correct answer. Number 8. Number 8 says determine the number of solutions that each equation has. So we have to solve each equation, A, B, C, D, and E, and decide how many solutions. So for letter A, 7x plus 5 equals 2, 4x plus 3. So I start by distributing. 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 3 is 6. They don't match, so I can immediately eliminate an infinite solution. So we're going to keep solving by combining our like terms. I subtract 8x from both sides. 7 minus 8 is negative 1. Negative 1x plus 5 equals 6. I continue combining like terms by doing the opposite operation. I do a minus 5. 6 minus 5 is 1. And my last step is to divide. In this case, divide by a negative 1. 1 divided by negative 1 is negative 1. X equals negative 1 is a one solution problem. Letter B. X minus 2, parentheses, x minus 6, equals negative x plus 12. We start by distributing. Negative 2 times x is a negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 6 is a positive 12. I combine my like terms, x minus 2x. X minus 2 is negative 1. Negative 1x plus 12 equals negative 1x plus 12. They match, they're the same on both sides, and so letter B is an infinite solution. Letter C, 8x plus 5 equals 5x minus 7. I combine my like terms by doing the opposite. I do a minus 5x. 8 minus 5 is 3, so that's a 3x. I bring down the plus 5 and I bring down the minus 7. Still combining like terms, doing the opposite, I do a minus 5. Negative 7 minus 5 is a negative 12. Once I have two numbers left, my last step is to divide. So I divide by 3, and I get x equals negative 4. X equals negative 4 is a one solution answer. Letter D, 2x minus 1 equals 3x minus 4. I distribute both parentheses. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. I combine my like terms by doing the opposite, doing a minus 3x. 2 minus 3 is negative 1. Still combining like terms and doing the opposite operation, I do a plus 2 to both sides. Negative 12 plus 2 is negative 10. When I have two numbers left, my last step is to divide. In this case, divide by negative 1. Negative 10 divided by negative 1 is a positive 10. X equals 10 is a one solution answer. And the last one, letter E, 4x minus 1 equals 2x minus 1. My first step is to distribute. 2 times 2 is 4, so 4x. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. I combine my like terms by doing the opposite. I do a minus 4x on both sides. I bring down the rest of the problem. 4 minus 4 is 0. I don't need to write 0, so I can just write the negative 1 and the negative 2. Negative 1 does not equal negative 2, and so I have a no solution problem. Make sure when you are filling out your test corrections form that you both show all of your work, and if you need to do it on a separate sheet of paper, you can, and explain why you missed the problems you did.